Okay, this is behind Cocalico Church, and when we were here for the funeral, we were talking about, they were remembering Grandpa always going down fishing with Pappy Artspeck, and Ruth remembers being told to keep quiet because she'd scare away the fish. Lois also remembers being told she was the talkative one. Right back there. Through those trees. Some geese over here. And just, I think this is the house that Grandpa and Grace and Mark were born in. And then as soon as Mark was born, they moved to a house over, it was on the other side of this one. And that is where the grandparents had lived. Grandpa Dinger had lived. And Grandpa Dinger and his father had been born in this house, in the house that was on the other side of this. It has been torn down since for a wild bird refuge. But Victor and Ruth and Mylan and Lois were born in the house that was torn down, and which their grandfather and his father before him had been born in. There's my husband.
Garage man. His name was Robert Knoll, and then Jeff started taking pictures down to him that he had, and he said he was in tears. It was so sudden for someone that he knew, you know.
I remember sitting in that house playing button, who's got the button with the other kids.
Yeah.
Now this is where who lived?
My parents lived there when they left the farm. They only lived there a short time, and then they moved to Ephrata.
Maybe?
Yeah, it was just till they found the place.
And this was built by the same people that built the other,
our home.
your home.
Yes.
Which one? The farm?
Yeah.
The farmhouse.
That had been torn down.
Yeah.
Not the one that...
I'll never forget, I went to Green Dragon. Paul and I were at Green Dragon, and we met another man by the name of Dinger, Willie Dinger. He lived up on Route 97. And then he stopped and talked to us a while, and he said, you know, just as we were passing your house, they used dynamite and dynamited your house down. Oh, gee, that really hurt. You know, Papa was 12 years older than my mother to the day. They were both born November the 15th. And my mother lived exactly 12 years after my dad died. She lived 12 years longer.
They didn't die on the same day, though.
No. My mother died 12 years later.
But I mean, not the same
In
date.
November, no. But their birthdays were November the 15th. I used to like that house, didn't he never married, and he lived with his parents and helped on the farm.
I don't know. See this one. Leah B. and Peter K. Dinger. Peter Dinger.
On the Fosnock stone back there.
Uh-huh.
Was a neighbor.
Yeah, she was a sister to my grandfather.
Oh, okay.
She was a sister to your
Fosnot?
Yeah. Ida Dinger. She was Ida Dinger.
like a great aunt then?
Yeah.
James Klein.
Jim Klein, yeah. He's, and somehow or another, we wouldn't have expected that he buried here, but he never married, and he lived with a family up on 897, and he lived near Monroe Dingers, and I think they just kind of figured that that's where he should be buried. We used to, that was sort of halfway between our house and our school.
And what was it that Grandpa had that Grace took care of him with? He had scarlet fever? Or was it?
No. My dad, Clarence had typhoid fever.
Typhoid.
And my mother took care of him, and then
Oh,
Grace
and
took care of all the little children.
Okay.
She didn't see us for so long because he was in quarantine. And one day she came down to the table after Clarence was better, and then she said, "And who's that?" And they said, "Well, that's Ruth." And she didn't recognize me because Grace used to feed me mashed potatoes because that's all I'd eat. You know, I got used to eating mashed potatoes and I got so fat. And she said she didn't recognize me.
Uh-huh. I think that is a pretty house.
I'm sorry, I was pushing you out of my way.